SolSeraph is a game that wants to take you back to your childhood. That is, if you were a child in 1990. Influenced by the retro game ActRaiser, SolSeraph is a game that tries to blend three genres into one. It's one part tower defense, a bit of side-scrolling 2D action, and a pinch of city building. You play as Helios, a half-man, half-god who is tasked to be the savior of mankind and rid the world of the evil young gods. For those of you not old enough to remember ActRaiser, it was an action platformer and city-building game that launched in 1990. For its time it was a weird and beloved game that didn't really have an equal. Retro-inspired mediocrity, Helios is known as the father of forethought. He descends from the heavens to smite those that get in his path. During the side-scrolling parts you'll play a pretty easy action game that is never difficult, but mildly frustrating. Enemy attack patterns are obvious and SolSeraph enjoys finding ways for you to take damage. In one area of the game you come across a stretch of land that is covered in spikes. What I did to pass this part was to just take the spike damage from walking on them. Like I said, the game isn't very difficult, so I didn't have any problems finishing the level. What you are supposed to do is jump on the bugs that are walking on these spikes, but the game never tells you this. In fact, if you touch any other enemy in the game you take damage, so it goes against what the game teaches you. Once God Helios is done mucking about and getting his hands dirty on the ground, he takes to the skies as a bird. This is where you'll be able to select from the multiple city building levels. Each comes with its own flavor of challenges. In the snow area, for example, you are unable to build farms which produce food for your villagers. Instead you unlock the ability to raise livestock. It functions the same way as the farm, and you have to ask yourself, what do these livestock eat? Something need doing? Enemies in SolSeraph are possibly the nicest I have ever encountered in a game. They march down a pre-constructed road and never take a detour or try and flank you. Of course, this is the expected gameplay of a tower defense game, but the developers at Ace Team never try and innovate on this. Just a bunch of lovely enemies walking down a road to their slaughter. The young gods are evil, indeed, to force these creatures to their death. The goal of the city building portion of the game is to construct villages to stop enemies from reaching your bonfire.